Hey there. How is everyone doing today? Staying home for the quarantine. And it's getting tough trying to find keep the schedule going, trying to get a good workflow. I have a lot of amazing clients who've adjusted and adapted fantastically. They're doing great with the new restrictions and the distancing and all that kind of stuff. But I hope everyone's doing great out there. Today, I wanted to talk about the one word that will infuriate your realtor. Not really, probably won't get too mad, but you have to have a real clickbaity title to get people to watch, right? So, what is the one word? Not two, not 11, but one that will make your agent infuriated. Well, before I tell you, I'm Kyle Lindsay. I'm a professional realtor with RE/MAX Trinity here in Fort Worth. And if you like the video, please go ahead and give it a like, or I would appreciate it. It helps me out. So, getting onto the topic here, the one word. Well, I guess if you use it in the right context, it might make me mad, but normally I don't get very mad. What is that one word? Zillow. So, I want to talk a little bit about Zillow. It has a interesting connotation in the real estate industry. You talk to some agents and, oh, Zillow, it's ruined everything. And other agents don't care at all. They're like, what's Zillow? I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm curious how many people watching use Zillow on a daily basis, or do you use a different one like different online web portal like Realtor.com or Trulia or Redfin? What portals are you using online the most? Maybe it's Remax.com. Wink. Hopefully you're using something, but I want to kind of dive in a little deeper about the technology behind what they're doing and how it's being used and why it can be beneficial or maybe not so beneficial. So, first off, the main thing that gets realtors hackles up, makes them real angry, is, well, Zillow said my house was worth. Really? Did Zillow say that? Everyone knows what the Zestimate is. Well, to take a step back and get real nerdy with you, real geeky with you for a second, a Zestimate in a larger scale is it's an AVM, automatic valuation model. What does that mean, though? What's an AVM? Well, Zestimate is an AVM. There's a lot of other sites that use those. So realtors have a tool called Realtors Property Resource, or as we call it, RPR. And they have their own version of the Zestimate. They actually just call it the AVM. There's title companies that do this, tax websites, all sorts of things use AVMs. And basically what this is the computer algorithm. So what does that mean? The algorithm, right? So basically they are trying to look at a neighborhood and then find houses that are of similar size, bedroom, bathroom, square footage, lot size, all these factors, age, 1-story versus 2-story, and look at what they're selling for, and then combine all that data into what they think your house is worth. Well, this is pretty cool technology in my opinion. I think it's fun, but it's not very accurate all the time. Zillow themselves say you should hire a realtor to actually come look at your house and do a valuation for you, because we are not accurate. Fun fact, Zillow's estimate on their owners and CEO's house is not accurate. There's a whole different side of things we can get into with their Zillow's iBuyer platform called Zillow Offers, and how they have bought and sold houses at a loss because their estimates were not correct. Now, overall, they're making money, so obviously it works, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're 100% accurate. Hey, Cecil, how you doing? We're talking about Zillow and whether or not you think they're accurate or not, or or how they actually kind of work. So basically the AVM, and they're like I said, there's a lot of different companies and organizations that claim theirs is the best, or Zestimate or Zillow is just the big one out front, kind of championing the cause here. In fact, when I do a CMA for my customers, I actually include a Zillow's estimate, the RPR source, and what the tax websites, CoreLogic, a huge data conglomerate in the real estate industry, what they all think yours worth, and then of course I'm going to give you the actual professional detailed analysis of the house, because here's the thing that they can't see, and the algorithms are not smart enough to look at yet, is individual differences in the home. So you have to actually get inside, any upgrades you've done, your countertops or colors you've painted, or upgrades to the flooring or bathroom, any of that stuff. That's not going to show up in the valuation model. It's just not. So you have to have someone come out and take a look at it to get an actual accurate value of your house. I don't know why I air quoted accurate in that sense, because it's it's actually, yeah. So if you want to get a good feel for what your house might be worth, a Zestimate, or I don't think Redfin's doing one yet, but you can do these online valuation boards. In fact, Remax.com has a really cool tool that they do now. If you go click on the website and you look at what your house might be worth, it gives you 3 different online valuations to look at. So the Zestimate is not one of them, but there's 3 different ones. And I think that's pretty cool, because you get a kind of a feel for what it could be worth. Now, you should never use those to actually determine sales price. There's a lot more that goes into that. And that's when actually hiring a realtor comes into play here. So that is something that I think Zillow is doing. It's pretty cool. I think that the other thing I want to step back and say about Zillow or any of these big online portals, there's a big debate in the realtor, real estate agent industry about what they're doing, how they're, the fact that they have made so much information so readily available, where you used to have to talk to a realtor to get that information, what's for sale, what the pricing is, details on the homes. I personally love it. I think it's great. I think the more informed people and consumers are about something, the better for everyone. Now, again, that does create a lot of armchair quarterbacks, so to speak, that think they know more than their realtor, which, sad to say in some cases might be true. But if you're dealing with a real professional, you can definitely use those platforms as starting points. But one of the reasons you hire a realtor is to get direct access to the MLS. That's where the best information, that's where Zillow's getting their information to begin with. So once you're working with a realtor, Henry, man, been a long time since I've seen you, talk to you. How you doing, man? But when you're dealing with a realtor, one of the great things about it is you have direct access to the MLS. Zillow is getting their information from the MLS, but it's delayed. Realtor.com, it's getting their information from the MLS, but it's delayed and it's not complete. There's a lot of these sites that do this, but they pick and choose what actually is on that you get to see. What's going on, Keith? So that's part of the great part about working with is you have direct access to the MLS. You have all the information. Now, when you're working with me and I have given you that access to the MLS and you're getting these things sent to you, they don't have this estimate on them, but that's where I come in and I can help provide a value to you, and that's part of what we do. So, and it's part of what really makes so many realtors so angry is that when you say, well, this estimate said, or well, Zillow said this and thinks I can get this for my house. Well, when I do a CMA for you, there's a really cool sheet that's included in there. So I usually choose somewhere between 3 and 5 comps. If you don't know what that is, I can explain that here. If you don't know what a comp is, let me know. Or if this is making sense, give me a thumbs up or like. But I pick a few comps and I use those to actually determine the value of your home, what you could sell it for. Well, I have a sheet in my price analysis that actually shows you what Zillow said those same comps were worth and what they actually sold for and what the difference is. And I will tell you that I have never seen that be the exact same thing, not once. Now, sometimes the difference isn't very big, but Sometimes it's off as much by 15 or 20%. Well, that's huge. But let's go into the smaller numbers. Let's say your house was only off 5%. Well, here in Tarrant County, the average home price, I think right now, is about $250,000, $260,000. Well, 3% of that is about $7,000 to $8,000 you could be low on that side. So that's another reason why, obviously, this estimate's a great starting point, but is not what you need to look at for your final product here. And last but not least, I want to, kind of along the same vein here, so the Tarrant County website. Ha! Me too, Keith. Me too. So your Tarrant County website is doing the exact same thing. So Tarrant Appraisal District, I won't say their website, because their website is just a portal. But when you get your tax evaluation, they're doing the exact same thing Zillow is doing. Now they have a lot more and better information, so their estimates are probably more accurate. But they are using an algorithm, an automatic valuation model, by using all the sale data that they have in the computer system, and they are generating a value based on that. And that's why the protest process is so important for homeowners. And we're actually getting pretty close to that. If you have a house in Tarrant County, the values are being mailed on the 1st, and you have until, I believe, the end of June to protest. I'll double check that and maybe do a different video about that. But anyway, just know that that is Zillow is one piece of a larger real estate pie that everyone is kind of moving towards having this online value for your home, for your house. And while Zillow gets most of the flack for it, a lot of different places are doing this, and this is going to be the wave of the future. But that is good for consumers, so you can kind of look at that. But like anything you find online, treat that with a grain of salt. It's not going to be 100% accurate. And once you kind of know what your starting point may be, that's when you want to talk to a professional, if it still makes sense for you to kind of go and get someone to look at your house and see about possibly selling it, or what you're trying to buy on the buy side. His estimate might be a great starting point to see the value, but you should always have someone, again, run comps and find out the actual value of that for you before you make that big decision. So anyway, I hope this helps. If it did, please share the video if you found it informative, fun, funny, you think I have a dumb face, whatever. I don't care. Just share the video. Thanks. I'll talk to y'all next time.